Hey guys, welcome to RPG's Horror Stories. I'm going to be reading these stories today. Let's try not to cringe at these absolute dredges of society. If there are any stories you guys would like me to read, just leave a comment down below. I'll look into them. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. First story. My character got essayed by a player the first time I played D&D. Essay warning, this happened a couple years ago, and I haven't played D&D since. I had always wanted to play D&D since I was a child, and in 2023, me and a bunch of friends decided to give it a try. It was everyone's first time playing anything like D&D, so we were excited. My cousin was the DM. He decided to do a silly, short campaign since we all agreed that doing something really serious could be really complicated since we had no idea what we were doing. That's fair. First couple sessions were alright except for one person, a bard, who had a pretty serious main character complex. At first it seemed like he was just kinda dumb and couldn't figure out how anything worked. For example, he tried to use high-level spells and give himself legendary items. We just told him to stop and explained to him how we made our own character so he could have some guidance. The third session was everything went to crap. We entered our first dungeon and we found that the villain we had to defeat was actually a kidnapper who would use children as meat shields because the DM thought it would be hella funny to have a villain based on a real guy who was exposed as an actual PDF file. This was really triggering for me, but I tried to keep calm and just pretend none of this was actually happening. For clarification, these guys were my only friends at the moment, and I was desperate. After we finally killed this guy, we were gonna camp and pass the night since our characters were exhausted. I was ready to call it a day to end the session after that, but the bard had other plans. Turned out he found all of the dungeon hilarious and wanted more. My character was the only woman in the party, so he asked the DM if he could cast charm on me to R-word me. The rest of the party was silent. It clearly weirded out but the DM, my fucking cousin, said that was funny and told him to roll for it. He succeeded the roll and proceeded to do it. I was sick. I decided to kill his character before leaving, and shortly after the campaign was canceled. I actually get so mad just thinking about all this. I haven't played D&D since, except for a time when we tried to do another campaign without the guy, but we only played once for other reasons. By the way, sorry if this post has any grammatical errors or something. English not my first language. Yeah, I just gotta, like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, imagine you're like, yeah, oh yeah. Oh, that was real funny. The PDF file, dungeon boss. Huh, time to essay my party member. Like, what? And then the TM just goes along with it. Like, bro, that's insane. I would have been like, all right, I ain't doing this crap, bro. I'm out. See ya. I would have just left. Like, that's insane. It's ridiculous. OP, sorry you had to go through that, dude. That sucks. Edgelord DM. Going to be a bit of a short post since I wasn't in this campaign long. DM is that kind of dark and gritty. The kind that includes incessant child harm and gross out. He introduced an obvious villain Sue. That's this changeling bard / rogue gesture. The worst kind of multi-class. Hasn't seen a single one that wasn't a painfully unamusing edgelord. But that's a story for another day. This character essentially acts like Vizipop wrote him. There's a shock value scene where the character kills a 14-year-old by making her into some kind of human balloon animal. Oh, what the heck. Described in disgusting detail, bringing to mind some sorts of effed up fetish story you'd find on DeviantArt or some crap. Then the actual fight begins, and DM starts showing his whole ass. Let's go do a rundown. The character uses a bullshit magical artifact that can insta-kill a PC if they don't roll a ridiculously high save. The character has 3 actions and 2 turns for some fucking reason. DM constantly gloats and overall acts like an arrogant middle schooler with his obvious power scaling. Later in the fight, the character becomes ethereal, so of course none of us could hit him, and does a bullshit move to basically use PCs as marionettes with a ridiculously high save because of fucking course. I fudged the roll because I was getting fucking tired of this shit by that point. If he can bend the fucking rolls, then I can too. We were running short on time because his turn takes forever, so his character has to fuck off. I half joke, I wasn't really joking at all, that my character's level 20 archery patron casts Play and Shift to send the changeling to the 9 hells to get eaten by worms right after I cast Mental Prison. Honestly, after all the nonsense DM pulled, he's lucky I didn't think of something worse. I don't mind challenging encounters. What bothers me is flagrantly unfair encounters, where it's fucking obvious the DM is just on a power trip. Yeah, no, that would get on my nerves too, that's pretty real. I agree with that one, honestly. Your NPC doesn't meet my character's needs as a partner. I've been playing D&D since 2019 and wanted to introduce the hobby to my friends. The friend group is 9 years old, with Barbarian joining us 2 years ago, and this story being our second mini-campaign. The mini-campaign follows the aftermath of a Kraken attack. The party wakes up in an eerie water Ganassi village, which they later realize is located within the Kraken's domain, and its inhabitants were cultists. The village chief was a Kraken priest who had an adoptive daughter, Amelia, tasked to look over the party. Amelia eventually smuggled the party's gear from her father's house and warned them about the island before disappearing. The party finds the rest of the survivors and a ship, but decides to come back and save Amelia before leaving. They manage to ambush and defeat the Kraken priest, leaving him for dead as they sail off to the next island. Barbarian player is a half-Triton pirate, playing a stereotypical douchebag. It was funny at first, but as the player's obsession with him grew, it became more disturbing. For context, Monk and Barbarian wanted a storyline explored as they both realized their characters had a crush on Amelia. The party agreed to the Barbarian Amelia ship on the condition that it would be portrayed poorly, and I will have them break up the next day. We had a scene where Monk tried to explain that now is not the time to make a move on Amelia, she's still processing grief, but gets blown off by Barbarian and asks her out on her birthday. The next session recaps started with Barbarian hiding in the closet, scared, explaining how Amelia asked if a half-Triton would drown if their gills recovered, and declared her expression to collect her boyfriend's scales and cut his hair in his sleep to make a charm with their hair braid together. The storyline is supposed to end here as dating a recent ex-cultist was a really bad idea. Well, after that session, Barbarian approached me to keep the relationship going, to which the group agreed, as long as it isn't romanticized. From here, it started small, with Barbarian asking Amelia to come to the party to every mission and complaining she's too squishy and underleveled. She initiates roleplay in my DMs, and the server often starting with sexual pickup lines. Oh my god. Getting frustrated when I deflected by being oblivious, then asked Amelia to be more normal and put more effort in the relationship, and would often ask if Amelia really loved him. Barb then initiates ERP in my DMs when I was hesitant at first but gave it a chance as every roleplay led to the bedroom. She then proceeds to share the ERP screenshots to the community server. I got upset and told her to stop. Barb's player had a 6-hour-long jealous breakdown on call. Oh my god, dude, what? Because I made a joke about a what-if scenario where the Monk and Amelia dated instead. She hated how the Monk and Amelia's relationship was healthier and accused me of making her jealous. Some of the quotes from the call. Amelia doesn't meet my character's needs as a partner. The others told me not to expect relationships from you. People just keep telling me to break up with her. It's dismissing my feelings. Why is our relationship doomed to fail? I did not consent to get cucked. Oh no. Barbarian may be fictional, but the person playing him is real, and my feelings are real. Don't ever mention Amelia being together with anyone else because it hurts me so much. On top of this, her sister explained that she had a pillowcase for Barbarian, 10 posters in a room, 70 plus artworks, 2 of which were him having sex, and then every waking moment she talks about Barbarian. Things like Barbarian eats like Barbarian and breathes Barbarian. And said I made the world and relationship dynamic so immersive for her sister to feel this way. Bro, she needs help. Oh my goodness. I tried to calm her down and explain that she shouldn't be doing romance or playing D&D if the bleed is so strong, and I can't meet her expectations as it's not within my skill set as a DM, to which her reply was, I'd never understand because I'm ace. Bruh. By the end, I tried writing a tactful message on how I no longer want to roleplay with her and she's out of the group. She said I was generalizing that she didn't ask for my D&D resume, and the reason she wanted ERP was because she was the type to push people to try new things like chess. That is not the same thing. That's nowhere near the same thing. What the hell? I later received a 4,000-word essay about how she's not sure how she hurt me, but she's sorry, and here's why I was wrong and why her character should be a major politician of 2 powerful nations. What? So after some thinking, I decided to leave to avoid drama. I couldn't kick her out as it wasn't my server and the owner was unreachable. The active community noted I left and wanted to follow me to a new server. Her last touch before I blocked her was accusing me of turning people against her. So yeah, fun experience. Man, I am sorry you had to deal with that. That is just very sad. That girl needs a lot of help. A lot of help. That's just insane. Oh my god. Oh my lord. If y'all, I gotta say, if you ever have anyone doing this stuff to you, don't feel like you have to sit there and do what they want. You are your own person with your own needs and desires. You tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, I'm not doing this stuff with you. You know, and if they start, I don't know, if they start just saying, oh, I'll do this stuff, I'm gonna blackmail you, all this crap, just block them. Just block them. It's like, nah, I'm done. See ya, bro. It's that simple.